My name is Paula Thurman, and in 1997 I founded Shear Madness Haircuts for Kids. And throughout the years, through very many trial and errors, came up with a really great system of how to go about running the store. It all started, I was actually living in Kansas and I got divorced, had 2 kids, and I moved home to Indianapolis, where I'm originally from. Family and friends are all there. And I came across a very similar concept. The only difference is, or the big difference is they just cut kids' hair. I was so gung-ho, I just thought it was the greatest thing ever. But I'm such a creative that I saw that, and immediately my brain just started taking off and had so many ideas for it. But I was in Indianapolis. Having just moved there from Overland Park, Kansas, I literally packed my kids up and we moved back to Overland Park because I just knew it was going to be a perfect fit there. I lived there long enough to know, the demographic and the moms, and I'm like, this is a sure fit there. So we moved to Kansas City, and I talked to a lady that owned a salon from my hometown, and she talked me through a few things, like just, you need to have a license. And she put me in touch with somebody to get fixtures and equipment. But outside of that, I was just clueless, and it was really and truly a big trial and error process, figuring out how am I going to get stylist. And luckily for me, honestly, I know that God's hand was in every bit of this, every step of the way. I remember, I can't even tell you why I went and signed a lease. I found that space at Town Center Plaza, and I knew that's right where I wanted to be. I had not really worked on numbers. I was clueless, but I found this space, and I'm like, I've got to have it. I had the people that could design the store, but outside of that, I really didn't know. But I went and I signed a lease for $3,700 a month and got in my car and drove home. And I remember pulling into my driveway and then literally looked for a bag to start breathing into, because I know I was about to hyperventilate. I mean, oh my God, what did you just do? Like, this is a legal document. You are gonna have to come through. You're gonna have to pay this $3,700 a month. And literally I felt the heaviness of peace rest on my shoulders, and it was just, okay, here we go. A woman drove by and she saw, funny enough, the original name for Shear Madness was Snipperdoodle. And I had already paid for Snipperdoodle to be on the entire back cover of a kid's magazine. And she saw that. Her name's Catherine Wooten. She's an amazing graphic artist. And she saw that and drove by Town Center, saw the banner, Snipperdoodle, coming soon, haircuts for kids. And she called me and she said, hey, I do graphic artists, I do graphic work, and just wanted to know if you needed anybody. I'm like, as a matter of fact, I do. My kids and I have been talking about this name. We really don't know about branding or a logo or anything. And the kids and their friends, we were all sitting around talking, and I don't remember which one of them, but they came up with saying, well, that sounds like Shear Madness. I'm describing this all to them, and they're like, that sounds like Shear Madness, ha 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 ha. So that's literally how we got the name. Little by little, the right people just kept stepping in, and it just came together. And it really just through trial and error and figuring things out as we went along, what worked and what didn't work. Just so many systems were literally through trial, error, epic fails, and I just worked through it. We just all, everybody kind of came to work together on it. But yeah. It was just a labor of love. It was stressful. It was exciting. It was fun. It was really neat. Honestly, starting something like that from nothing, and then being able to look back and see, even before we had other stores, just looking and watching it grow and watching it develop was really a driving factor for me. I used to go to the cosmetology schools, and I was just really nervous and kind of didn't know what to say. And I would tell them about Shear Madness, but it wasn't until, and I didn't get very many applicants out of that, but it wasn't until I went and I started really getting engaged and talking more about the business side. I did talk about Shear Madness and how fun it was, but then I started talking about the business side of things and how being a stylist at Shear Madness is not just about cutting kids' hair. It's really about honing in on your skill, your technical skills, precision, and if you can do a great haircut on a 15-minute, if you can do a great 15-minute haircut on a moving target, and one day you decide you want to do adults, that time that you have learned to save, it's no different from cutting kids' hair than it is cutting adults' hair. It should be easier because adults are sitting still. But you're going to use that same technical skill, those same precisions are going to come into play, and you will be able to apply that into your maybe adult setting 10, 15 years from now, and that equates to dollars. Also being really interactive with them and having them ask me questions or me ask them questions, and somebody answered the question right, then I'd toss them, like fart putty or something fun. I wanted to keep it light and fun, so I would toss them a gift from off of our retail shelf. I remember when Beanie Babies came out, there was a Hallmark right across the street. Well, there was a line of people all the way around the building twice. So that was a no-brainer. We of course went across there and we did that. And my mind just always said, find the kids and start passing out information. So I was very heavily involved in the kids' carnivals at schools. So we did a lot of that. So there was a lot of money spent figuring things out, doing them the wrong way. But on the flip side, we did learn how to do it the right way. We learned through how not to do it, how to do it. And that's a great benefit. And it's not always a win-win. It's not always you figured out on that, first try. So it was just all part of the experience. I think the benefit is literally immeasurable. The wear and tear and stress mentally and emotionally on you, having to figure those things out, is draining, to say the least. So to have somebody hold your hand the whole step of the way, to be able to guide you to the right inventory to buy, best prices, be able to say, hey, this inventory company has this item, this company has the same item as well, but these guys are cheaper, but you could also get this from, this. There are so many benefits to being a franchisee. Just being able to have somebody hold your hand and tell you the right way to do things, and all the things you didn't think of have already been thought of, have already been experienced. So that to me is immeasurable. I would have years back on my life if I had a franchise to follow for this. I think the biggest thing that makes us stand out is clearly the look of our store. It is so professionally designed and put together. So many things have been thought through. How much space between the stations, where to put the front desk, how retail should be laid out, the proximity of the back bar and where we do ear piercing, and then the birthday parties. All of those things play a role in the functionality of the store.